Imagine opening your eyes one morning and realizing something feels off. You reach for your window curtains expecting to see the usual skyline or mountain view. But instead, you're staring into an endless blue ocean. Streets, buildings, cars, everything is gone beneath the waves. The unthinkable has happened. The entire planet has flipped its geography overnight. Every ocean has become land and every continent has turned into deep sea. The world you knew, cities, forests, farms, is now at the bottom of the ocean. In this new nightmare Earth, nothing is familiar. The Pacific is now a dry, cracked desert. The Himalayas lie under crushing depths of water. New York and Paris are gone, drowned beneath roaring tsunamis. Humanity's great monuments are silent, trapped beneath dark waves. Welcome to the day when water and land switch places, a disaster unlike anything the human mind could truly comprehend. The moment of the flip. When the switch occurs, it's instant. There's no warning, no time for evacuation, and no possibility of escape. Coastal cities disappear in seconds as walls of water rise hundreds of meters high. Planes fall from the sky as the atmosphere ripples with violent temperature and pressure changes. Oceans drain into massive new basins, leaving behind steaming valleys and the skeletons of coral reefs exposed to burning sunlight. The destruction is total. New York's skyscrapers vanish under a new Atlantic Ocean. London, Shanghai, and Sydney disappear without a trace. The people who once lived near the sea, nearly 40% of the global population, become the first casualties. Meanwhile, ships and submarines drop straight into the empty abyss of the former oceans, shattering on the dry seabed. Within hours, billions are dead, and the rest of humanity faces a world they can barely recognize. A planet rewritten. With land now covering 79% of the Earth, the geography of our planet transforms completely. The continents merge into one enormous supercontinent, an endless brown expanse covered in mountains of coral, salt plains, and the dried bones of sea creatures. Where the oceans once roared, silence reigns. The air fills with the stench of death and the dust of evaporated salt. Meanwhile, new oceans form where our continents once stood. North America becomes the North American Ocean, connected through narrow channels to the South American, European, and Asian oceans. The shapes of continents are distorted beyond recognition. From space, Earth still looks blue, but up close, it's a devastated planet, struggling to adjust to its new balance of land and water. Climate chaos. Earth's oceans regulate the planet's temperature. They absorb heat, store carbon dioxide, and create the winds and currents that make life possible. But now, with only 21% of the surface covered in water, that natural balance collapses. Without the cooling power of vast oceans, temperatures rise rapidly. The planet becomes hotter than ever before, turning former fertile lands into deserts. Rainfall nearly stops. The few remaining bodies of water evaporate faster than they can replenish. What little remains of humanity will face endless droughts, dust storms, and scorching heat. Coastal areas, the new shores of the old oceans, will be the only habitable regions. Ironically, beachfront property remains as valuable as ever, even in apocalypse. The fall of civilization. Electricity fails within minutes of the switch. Power stations, nuclear plants, and wind farms are all either underwater or destroyed. The internet vanishes as data centers drown. Water systems collapse. Cities lose their ability to pump water, flush toilets, or generate food. With no clean energy and no transport, humanity is thrown back into a primitive existence. Those who survive the first day must now fight for food and water. Farmlands are buried under oceans, and livestock are drowned. The only available food comes from what remains of ocean life, billions of dead fish drying under the sun. Desperate survivors collect and salt the fish, turning it into their only source of protein. Vegetables and fruits vanish completely, and diseases like scurvy make a deadly return. Without infrastructure, survival becomes a brutal daily battle. Humans begin scavenging from the remains of the old world, using debris, plastic, and metal from the drowned cities to build shelters. Ironically, the billions of tons of ocean plastic we once threw away become the materials for our second chance at survival. Mass extinction begins. The destruction isn't limited to humans. The sudden reversal wipes out nearly every species on the planet. Marine life suffocates within minutes. Dolphins, whales, sharks, and fish die by the trillions, turning dry ocean beds into mountains of carcasses. Land animals fare no better. Forests drown, grasslands disappear, and deserts become boiling plains of salt. Lions, elephants, and giraffes struggle to climb higher ground, only to find none left. The few survivors cling to whatever remains: trees, cliffs, rooftops, but starvation quickly follows. The world enters another mass extinction event, perhaps the worst since the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Who survives in the new world? Despite the devastation, life has a strange resilience. Certain species thrive in this chaos. Reptiles such as crocodiles and turtles adapt quickly, as they can live in both water and on land. Insects also flourish. Mosquitoes, flies, and cockroaches swarm the new world, feeding on the endless decay. Within weeks, diseases like malaria, dengue, and yellow fever spread through the few surviving human populations. The new dominant life forms on Earth are small, flexible, and unbothered by pollution. The age of mammals ends and the era of insects and reptiles begins. A struggle to adapt. For the humans who remain, survival requires radical adaptation. The heat is suffocating, and fresh water is almost impossible to find. People begin collecting dew from the air and building makeshift desalination systems using scavenged materials. They dry and salt dead fish, eat insects, and learn to conserve every drop of water. Communities start forming near the new coastlines, places that were once mountain ranges but now touch the new oceans. Humanity begins again, smaller and humbler, using the trash of its past civilization to build a fragile future. Houses are made from driftwood, plastic, and metal scraps. The new human diet includes lizards, beetles, and pickled fish. It's disgusting, but it's life. The new evolution. Over the centuries, evolution begins its quiet work. Humans adapt physically to the new environment. With lower oxygen levels due to the loss of plants and plankton, lungs grow larger and bodies become smaller. Skin darkens to resist the blazing sun. People evolve to endure heat and live on minimal water. Reptiles grow larger and stronger, ruling the deserts and riverbanks. Birds that survived learn to build nests on skyscraper ruins, which now stand like islands across the flooded cities. The Earth becomes a strange hybrid ecosystem. Part desert, part swamp, part wasteland. New species emerge from mutation and adaptation, shaped by this harsh reality. Humans remain intelligent, but they are no longer masters of the planet. Just another species trying to endure. A new civilization rises. Thousands of years later, humanity rebuilds. People rediscover tools, farming, and trade, but on a smaller scale. They worship the oceans as sacred, remembering the ancient time when the world turned upside down. Ancient cities like New York and Tokyo become underwater legends, mythical places said to be buried beneath the waves. The surviving societies become resourceful and environmentally cautious. They use sunlight, heat, and wind to generate primitive energy again. The few remaining rivers become lifelines. Technology returns slowly, shaped by hard-earned respect for nature's power. The new humans live with constant awareness that the Earth can change again at any moment. The legacy of the old world. Future generations will find relics of our past. Glass towers beneath the oceans, rusted airplanes, crumbling highways. They will not understand how we once lived in comfort, surrounded by abundance, yet ignored the signs of an unstable planet. The ruins of our cities will stand as reminders that power, progress, and pride can vanish in a single day. From these ruins, humanity will tell stories about the Age of Water, when the world turned over and nature reclaimed its throne. They'll look at maps of the old Earth and wonder if such a paradise ever truly existed. Can humanity ever truly recover? History proves that humans are remarkably adaptable. Our ancestors survived ice ages, famines, and plagues. Even if only a few thousand survived this cataclysm, they could one day rebuild. But the new civilization will never resemble the old one. It will be smaller, wiser, and deeply connected to the environment. The survivors would live cautiously, respecting the fragile balance of nature. Technology might return, but not arrogance. The idea of dominating Earth would vanish forever. Humanity would finally learn the lesson that survival is not about control, but coexistence. And that's the terrifying story of what would happen if water and land suddenly switched places. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep exploring the impossible.